Welcome to the Bitcoin price action. Alright. So let's start on the Bitcoin chart, but I think I'm going to delete everything here just to show you how I mark my levels from the beginning here on the higher time frames. Okay, let me just check the stream. Okay, I think everything is fine. All right, so let's start here on a daily. Okay, what I'm going to mark is the support that it was holding. I think we might break down, honestly. This is the daily candle that is holding the price. Okay, on the bottom, a blue candle that is followed by two white candles is going to act as a strong support. The price can go to the wick or to the body. Okay, if you want to learn more about these levels, I have some videos about that. Okay, so you can see that we are holding this support. Okay, but we already created a liquidity level here. So when you have a strong support with two white candles followed by this blue candle followed by two white candles, right? So we also have this one here, but you can see that the price just respects the wick and breaks down to the next level, right? So it was this previous support that we test, but you need to understand that the bottom of the first white candle, okay, is going to be a break level. So a break level, I mark that as dashed. Well, this here is a break level just because when the price goes there, it is trying to break down in this case, okay? Because we are in the bottom. If we go here, you can see that the price kind of deep dives the previous break level, okay? And I'm going to turn this dot just for you guys to understand that this turned into a liquidity level on this target here. Okay, and you can see that we have a big reaction, 20% up from that level. Okay, this is a liquidity level just because everyone that long here probably got liquidated by this candle. Okay, and a liquidity level, I mark that when we have two tests. So we have the first test here that breaks down over there, and we kind of have a perfect level here. It's probably not going to happen a lot of times. Okay, the price could easily go a little bit lower, and that will also be a liquidity level. Okay, so for now, I hope you understand that. I also have a video about liquidity levels. Okay, so I'm gonna keep the daily support over there. Let me mark this as a daily. Okay, you can see that I use red lines for the daily. Okay, so let's actually understand what is happening on these levels here, because we don't need to watch a lot from the past. I could go to the weekly and tell you guys that we already failed the only candle on a weekly that was not tested, this pull candle here, because this pull candle was already tested by this one. So we kind of have a trail here from down here, I believe. Let me just check. Yeah, nothing from there, just from this range. You can see that this one was tested by this one, right? And I know that this is not a blue candle that is followed by two white candles, but since we have two blue candles here, okay, straight candles that are also followed by two whites, we can actually mark the wick. Okay, we cannot mark the body, something that we could mark here on the lowest candle. Okay, the previous one, it's the back side of this volley here. So we have kind of a volley here, okay, and we have the back side, okay, and the greedier side, that is this bull candle. The price can still go there and have a good reaction, okay. So just for you guys to understand that we have a trail here, you could even consider this one as a trail. You can see we kind of break a little bit that support, okay, but we kind of hold that on the second test, okay. So this is probably a really strong support on the weekly, okay. So we have a trail to the next candle here, okay, and this candle was tested by these two candles, okay. We marked the blue candle. This candle was tested by this blue, okay. Even if it was just a white candle like this one, you need to follow the trail to the next blue, okay. This blue is not followed by two whites, so we go to the next, okay. Previously we could have this one here, but as you can see, we failed to test the level, so we can always go there, okay. So we failed to go to this on this range, right, on this candle, or on the second one. We created a possible support here, but since we did not have a trail, okay, from the previous one, it was probably not a strong level. And even though we have a good reaction here, 7% up, on the second test we just fail and create another support here after testing the previous one, okay. I hope this is not really hard to understand. This is price action, guys. It's much more easier than what indicators show you guys, okay. So I don't like indicators, but if you are profitable with them, just use what you are profitable, okay. So we failed to all this weekly as support, okay, and we created this big range after that. I normally don't mark that many levels on a weekly, just because I like to mark only from the daily to the lowest time frames, okay. So we have a range here. We created this range, okay. You can see that until this candle here, we did not came down to the previous range, okay. So there are two separated ranges here. So we failed to make this a big support, okay. We actually have a good reaction here, but we failed to go above this candle, and you can see that this candle created a big resistance. I already told you guys in the previous videos and on the previous live stream, because we had this daily big resistance candle, okay. On the top, a big resistance is going to be the opposite of the bottom, right? We are going to need to have a white candle that is followed by two blue candles, and you are going to have a big resistance, okay. So of course not all the candles are going to act so strong like this one, okay. We have the first test here on this full candle, okay. It opens below that and goes on the wick, test that candle, okay. It can be the wick or a body of a candle, okay. So like this one here, it looks like the price broke that candle, right? But we have the resistance, sorry, in this case, and the break level here. So the resistance is protecting the break. If we go to the break, we can have a big reaction like this one, because the break level, if it's not broken, okay, so to break this break level, okay, for the price to have a confirmation of the break, we need to open and close a white candle, okay, above this dashed line here, so above the top of the first bull candle, okay. We don't do that here, okay. The candle opens below, it actually closes above, but it's not really important, okay. If we had a white candle opening and closing above, oh damn, so opening and closing above this dash line here, we probably had a confirmation of the break and we could see a big move up. Okay, but you need to understand, even having a big move up, it doesn't mean that the next resistance is not going to bring the price down. Okay, so I hope you guys understand that. On the bottom, we have a break level when we have a big support when we have a blue candle that is followed by two white candles, right? And the lowest point of the first white candle is going to be the break level. And as you can see, we kind of have a good reaction here, okay, from the break level, 4.3%. But we found a big resistance here on this candle. As you can see, white candle that is followed by two blue rejects the price and it breaks down below the previous break. Okay, we could say that we had this break level also. Okay, but we have a problem here because we did not open and close a white candle above this blue candle to make that a strong support. Okay, like this one here. Okay, so blue candle followed by two white candles. Okay, it did not act as a strong support because we kind of don't have a confirmation. Okay, look at this one here. I know that this candle doesn't go to the body like perfectly, right? But it goes to a 4-hour inside here and it adds a reaction, okay? And we already had created a big resistance before this support. It's this white candle here. So I'm actually going to delete the previous one. This was a weekly, sorry. So let's read what is happening here, right? Sorry. Okay. Let's start on the top because it's going to be easier for you guys to understand. We have a big resistance candle here. Let's mark the wick. The price can go to the wick and to the body. Okay, and you can see that the body was already tested here by this candle on a lower time frame because this candle doesn't open and doesn't open below the wick here. Okay, so if we go to the 4-hour, you are going to see a big reaction there. Even though that daily, oh come on, even though this daily was not yet confirmed as a big resistance, okay, because we needed to close this candle to a white candle followed by two blue candles, okay. So this is why we need to go to lower time frames and try to understand what is happening, right? If you mark that body of that daily and you see these two rejections here, it counts only as one, okay, but you see a big rejection here, sorry, and the price falls down, I don't even know why, how much, 20%, okay, because we created also 4-hour resistance candles here, okay, and I'm not going to the top here, I'm going to actually to the range that the Bitcoin is right now, okay. So I just wanted you guys to understand that in the future, even though this was tested on a 4-hour, we can still go there and see a big reaction or a big a big reaction to the downside, okay, because we already had the one, we can see another one, okay. So let's go to this range. We already know that we went to a support and a liquidity level, right? So if you forget about the liquidity level, okay, we went to the support, but we failed to create a big support here, okay, on the test. So we have this big daily candle, okay, that needed to turn into a support. So if we actually add two white candles here, okay, so this blue candle here followed by two white candles and the price goes above this candle, we could turn this into a big support like we did here with a big resistance. But we failed to do that. The price doesn't even go close to that. And after 2 candles, we create a big resistance here. So I'm going to mark the body of this candle, okay, white candle, followed by 2 blue candles, and you can see that this blue candle closes below the wick, okay. It's just by a little bit, but it does. So it's even a bigger confirmation of that creation of resistance, right? And you can see that the price goes there, and we are just moving down, right? So where is our support? Well, I kind of don't like this because Bitcoin is failing almost every support here on the daily candles and weekly candles, and it's looking really bearish, honestly. So let's go to some lower time frames to understand what happened here, okay? So we kind of already have a trail. Let me just mark this for you guys. Daily candle here, okay? And we are going to follow the trail. So we have a white candle here, but is not followed by 2 blue candles, okay? So we go to the next one, that is this one here, okay? So I'm going to mark the body, okay? It almost goes, almost perfectly, guys. Let me mark this as daily candle, sorry. So for you guys to understand, I'm going to delete this one. We are not going to need that for understanding this range, okay. But you can see that this candle, okay, followed by 2 whites, it was already tested by this range here, and we already have another daily here. I'm going to mark the body, but we can actually mark the wick. It was not tested yet, at least on the daily, right? White candle followed by 2 blue candles, okay, and even 3. It's not really important. You can see that the price is laddering down, okay. So our supports were here, okay. This was probably the strongest support if the price was here, right? But we created so many big resistance and we failed to make this candle a big support, okay. Probably because we also attack the break level here. So just for you guys to understand, and it's going to be easier if I show you the break levels, okay, because you are going to understand the ladders, and then I'm going to the lower time frames, okay. So white candle followed by 2 blue candles, you mark this as the daily break level, and when the price goes to the break level, it means that it's trying to, in this case on the top, break up, okay. It doesn't mean that it's going to break on the first test or on the second, but is trying, okay. And if we have 2 tests on the break, it creates a liquidity level, okay, unless it breaks on the second, like it did here. We have a test on the break, okay, in this case on a breakdown, break level here, and it breaks on the second, so it does not create a liquidity level here, okay. So let's go to the top, break level here. Let me mark the next break level is this one here, okay, and the next one is here. So you can see that we are laddering down and failing to attack the break levels. If we go to the bottom, we have the break level here, right? Blue candle followed by 2 whites. You mark the lowest point of the first white candle, and you can see we go there and we created a lower low. The next blue candle followed by 2 whites, bottom, lowest point of it can be a wick or a body, okay guys, it's not really important, just for you guys to understand. And we have a lower low, okay. So this is on a daily on this range, right? This is just to understand this range. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to delete this because I want to focus on the resistance, okay. So I'm going to mark this candle, just for you guys to understand the lower time frames, because they are also important. Okay, so I'm gonna mark the week to find the 4-hour. Okay, so to mark a 4-hour, you have to go, in this case, up on the price, and you cannot go backwards. So if I want to mark, okay, so if I want to mark the 4-hour inside that daily, I need to go to the highest candle, highest white candle. That is followed by 2 blues. So we have this one here, okay? Even though this can also act as support, because every white candle on the top is going to act as support, this is not the strongest support, okay? Probably if we did not create these 3 candles here, okay, in the moment, this could be a strong support, a strong resistance, sorry. So I'm going to mark the candle that is followed by 2 bull candles. And I know that we have one here, but you can see that in this candle, we did not create the daily yet. So you can see we were here, right? So we hadn't created the daily yet, okay? And even though this candle acts as resistance, look at this, so many rejections here. Let's go to the 1 hour actually, just to see how many. Look at this big resistance on the wick, okay? But when it goes to the body, it just breaks up. Oh, come on, trading view. So when it goes to the body, it just breaks up, okay? And eventually it created the daily, right? So what we are going to do, we are going to mark this, and you can see that we have a lot of rejection here, okay? First test here with these 2 candles, it's just one test, okay? Second here, third here, and 4 here, okay? Because on the 4, it goes to the wick, right? You know, guys, the price can go to the body or to the wick, okay? And what we are going to do now, we are going to find the 1 hour that is probably the rejection here, okay? So I'm going to mark this 4, okay? And you can follow the trail, okay? Even on a 4, imagine that after this daily, these dailies here were not created yet, like this one here and this one here, right? If they were not created yet, you could stay on a 4 and try to follow the trail. So this one here also act as resistance, look. And this one here also act as resistance. And of course, we found some support. He goes, attacks that 4 again, right? And he creates another one. Yeah, this one here, okay? Even if you did not mark that 4, okay? You could say that this was also a big rejection here, right? And we could keep following the trail to this one here, okay? So there is probably a 1 hour inside here or a 15 that rejects over there, okay? And we can follow the trail, guys. It's going to be easier when you understand all these levels. I'm gonna keep on a week. Let's find the 1 hour inside these 4, just for you guys to understand that we need to go to the lower time frames to understand this, okay? So the same here, we cannot go back in time and we cannot go down in time, okay? I believe I said that wrong on the explanation on the daily. Sorry. Let me go to the 4, sorry. So on the 4, we cannot go down in time. We need to go up in time, okay? On the bottom is the opposition of that, okay? And we cannot go back in time to mark the 4 hour candle, okay? On a 1 hour is the same. So the creation of the 4 is here, okay? If this was a candle on a 1, it can count, okay? The previous one, it cannot count, okay? So let's go. It's really simple, guys. Look at this. Look how this perfection this is. So this candle, even though it's the highest candle, okay, it is not followed by two bull candles. So the next one is here, and you can see what a big reaction we have here on the 1 hour. And I don't yeah, and it has this one here also. So the price went straight to the body, right, and even attacked the break level. As you can see, it created, I believe, maybe not, let me check. No, it does not test, so it does not create a liquidity level here, maybe on a 15-minute. So let me mark the wick, and you can see rejection, rejection. Okay, two big rejections here, guys, two big rejections on this big resistance candle. And you could just follow the trail, okay? If the price were just here, you could just follow the trail, but start on the higher time frames, of course. Rejection here, look, the price goes there, it goes there. Yeah, this candle, one test, second test, breaks down. Okay, we can go to the next one. Two rejections here, first one here, second one here. Okay, and it keeps moving down, and you have a trail here, guys. So this was not one, this was probably one. It's probably a 4 hour here, I'm not really sure. This one act as resistance, okay, but we had this one here. So you can see that this one did not act as resistance because this candle here was not tested by this candle, okay? It goes there the second time, the third time, and it tries to break up. It wasn't able, and it keeps moving down. So this one was not, and this one was, and it created a liquidity level here, as you can see. And when we break this liquidity, it's just on the 1 hour, okay? That's why we did not have a big reaction, okay? Liquidity level here, even though it was a good one, actually. 2.5% up, okay? I will count just this one. Okay, 2% up after breaking that liquidity, and it goes, rejects a 4 hour there. So I hope you guys understand how I kind of read from the daily to the 4 to the 1 hour, and you can keep them, go to the 15, go to the 5, go to the 3, go to the 1, okay? You are going to understand how I read my price action like this, okay? The price is going to be easier to read if you kind of understand these levels, okay? So let's go to the bottom, okay? We already found our big resistance on the top, on the daily and on the 4 hour, okay? And we don't have a liquidity level here on the daily, not even on a 4. I'm not really sure on a 4. We might have a liquidity level here, but that resistance, it's probably the biggest one. Nothing from the past. No liquidity. Okay, I believe we don't have a liquidity level on a 4. We probably just have a 1 hour liquidity level probably inside this 4, okay? Liquidity levels are going to be different to spot, okay? Because you are going to have a lot of them on lower time frames, like this one here, I believe. And you should know that, yeah, this is a big liquidity level on a 1 hour. Liquidity levels, well, the price can act in two different ways, okay? It has a big rejection, okay, like this level here is acting as a big rejection. Or if we try to break that a lot of times, we can have a big reaction in the opposite side, okay? So we have a continuation of the move. So this is how a liquidity level works, okay? You are going to see big reactions on them, but you need to understand if it's actually going to break or hold the price, right? So, okay, let's go to the bottom. And I'm just going to read this one because we are already failing to hold the price, right? So let's go to this one that should have turned into a big support. And you can see that we have this bull candle followed by two whites, but the price here, you can see this candle open above that daily, so we cannot count this one. We are going to count this 4 as the strongest support. Okay. In this moment, well, we have another one. Okay. Just because we did not create a daily big support on this range, we need to understand that the 4-hour can easily be a strong support also. Okay, we haven't created that on a daily, but we created this big 4-hour support. Okay, bull candle followed by two white candles. Okay, and we have a lot of tests on a week of that candle. 1, 2, it kind of breaks on a third. Okay, this one goes to the body also. So you can see that this support was kind of already broken. We don't need that anymore, just for showing you guys. Okay, so that daily didn't hold, the 4-hour didn't hold. Let's find the 1-hour here. But I'm going to mark actually the break level here, because it's the one that showed me that the price was going to break down after this one, and especially after this one. Okay, so let's go to the 1-hour. Okay, inside that 4, this was the 1-hour. Okay, and we also failed that. Every 1-hour back down here was already tested, and we could not count that because the 4-hour is here, so we can only go down in time, and we cannot go back in time. Okay, down in price, sorry, we can only go down in price, and we cannot go back in time, sorry. Okay, okay, so easy to spot, right? We have the break level on a 4, and it is also the break level on a 1-hour. Okay, the price breaks down here. Okay, it fails to kind of fails to hold on a 4 on the second, sorry, and we have a lot of rejection here, and we still have we still have a good reaction here. So we still have a 3.5 reaction there. If we go to the 4, okay, we have this 4-hour here going for the break, and we failed to turn that 4-hour into a big support. Okay, even though we have a bull candle followed by two whites, we don't break the bull candle, so it does not turn into support. Okay, this bull candle also doesn't turn into support, as you can see, so we are failing to make supports on a 4-hour, even though we have some reactions. Okay, this reaction was probably on this 4-hour from back here, or probably on the 1-hour here. Okay, it was actually, it could be both of them. Okay, but it was on this 1-hour here, bull candle followed by two white candles. Okay, but it's just a 1-hour. How can a 1-hour hold when the previous 4 was already broken, right? It actually hold a little bit, of course, 3% down, but you can see when we go there again, we just have a big reaction. Okay, 3.6% down, and you can see that the previous big support turning into resistance. Okay, and this is why I love these levels, guys, and I hope you understand them, or try to understand them. They are not that some of them are not easy to spot, but yeah, you just need to learn a little bit of price action and how these candles can easily be understandable. Okay, so previous big support turned into resistance, right? I don't believe that daily turned into a big resistance, even though it was a supposed to be a good support. Okay, we fail a lot there, and I believe the 4 was much stronger than the daily. Okay, and you can see that this is just price action, my friends, just price action. Okay, so where is Bitcoin going, and where did we bounce? Okay, I'm just going to mark this level, okay, because it might be a big rejection here. It's kind of the last support on a 1 hour, I believe. And we already, no, sorry. Yeah, we already tested that multiple times. So what we need to understand is that even though every level here is tested, okay, we can still go up. Okay, the price of Bitcoin can still go up simply because if this liquidity level is true, okay, the price can go there again, okay, goes a little below, liquidates everyone from back there, and of course we can have a big move up because the buyers go in, okay, or if those back from the past get completely liquidated, because this was probably the lowest point. Oh, come on. So this was probably the lowest point. So if we go below this bull line here, well, it's going to be really hard. But we are kind of failing, honestly, guys. Bitcoin is just failing. We don't have a support on a daily. We can create one here. Okay, if we stay above these 2 lines here, we can definitely create a support, but it's not made yet. And on a 4, we already created one here. Okay, so right now in the moment we have this one. Let me delete that one. It's not really important if the price is bouncing here or not. It can bounce, okay, it's not really important. And even though I really like this level as a big rejection, okay, it's something that I haven't explained before, but this rejection on a daily can easily be a really strong move up. Okay, so we already have a 4 here, and this is what is going to be interesting to understand. Okay, and we are kind of breaking a downtrend here, guys. So we have a range downtrend here. Okay, so this is my downtrend on a 1 hour, and we are already breaking that downtrend. So breaking a trend, it doesn't mean that we are going to attack the top, or in this case the creation. Okay, it just means that we break a level. Okay, and you need to understand that trends were made to be adaptable, so we can always adapt the trend. Okay, especially on some lower time frames. Okay, so this is a range trend, and to mark a trend, I'm going to start here on the 4. So to mark a trend, you're going to need in the top, of course, a strong resistance candle, right, followed by 2 bull candles. Okay, white candle followed by 2, and you are going to mark the top of the first pool to the next top of the first pool, okay? And it needs to be like this. I like the 1 hour, okay, because the 4 was not created yet, even though this looks like it is a good downtrend, okay? To have a really good trend, you are going to need to have 3 points: creation, continuation, and confirmation. And when the price breaks on a third, that trend is not a trend, or that line is not a trend. So what I did here, I went to the lower time frames, okay, to the 1 hour, and I have this one here, but you can see that we don't have a creation yet. We might have one here, okay? So this is why trends are kind of not that strong. I normally just use them to understand if I'm going to get out of a trade, or maybe having a combination level, like maybe this point here, okay? We have a strong 1 hour resistance candle, and maybe the price, if it rejects here, just because also I have that trend, I can probably try to short this, okay? But trends are made by levels, okay? The levels that I show you guys are the ones that create the trend. So if you understand the levels, you probably won't need a lot of trends. So I'm just going to show you guys. This is probably a good trend if we reject on the third test, okay? Because here I just count 1 and 2, even though we have 3 candles testing that trend. These 2 straight candles doesn't count, okay? We need to have 1 candle like this one that doesn't test the trend to count that. So what I did here was just following the trend, okay? So we mark the second point, and we are going to mark another one here, okay? And you can see also here, okay, that we add 3 points, okay? So we have the first one here, the second one here, because this candle here doesn't test, okay? And the third point here, so we are breaking on the 4. So this was a good trend, okay? Just for you guys to understand this. We don't need this anymore. It was already broken, so I don't want to kind of I don't need to have that, okay? So let's go to the 1 hour. Strong support here, right? This is the 4 and this is the 1. I'm just going to mark the wick. We are kind of far away from that. And let's go to the top because the action is probably going to be on this top, okay? So strong 4 hour candle here as resistance. Strong 4 hour candle here. We did not reject the wick, sorry. So we are going to mark the body. And we are rejecting that 1 hour, okay? Not yet. But okay, so I know that I have a lot of lines here. I'm gonna keep the trend here just because I know that a lot of you guys like to have some trends. So honestly, guys, if we fail to go to this 1 hour, this is going to be really bearish for Bitcoin. I'm going to find the 15. Okay, so we have a 15 here, backside, and the greediest candle here. Okay, so I'm actually first going to mark the backside. Okay, and we probably have liquidity. No, let me check that on a 1 hour. No, nothing. Sorry. Okay, you can see here. I am not really sure it was this previous support that turned into resistance here. Oh, sorry. It was that a 4? No, that's it. So you can see that this 1 hour as a strong support wasn't even a strong support because we did not create the 4, right? But it acts as resistance. Even though it was not a good big support, it acts as resistance, and you can see that over there. Okay, so we probably don't need that. Let me see. Okay, the price doesn't test that. So I was hoping to find a big liquidity here. We don't. Mm. Okay, let's go back to the 1 hour. I'm not used to make this on a live stream, but let me just think a little bit to understand where the price can go. Okay, let's mark our break levels. Okay, so we'll mark this one even though we are far away from that. So this is the break level. Okay, the support, the resistance here is protecting the break, right? Let me mark the body here just to see. Okay, so I'm gonna keep it on there, and we are going to mark the break level here of this big resistance, right? Let's go to the 1 hour. Let's go to the 15. We probably have a liquidity level here on a 5, and I will try to check that. Yeah, definitely. So all right, guys, so it's going to be a little bit difficult for you guys to understand, but this liquidity level is the last point that I want to go. If we go to the 15 or even to the 5 year, we have the 15 year and the 5 year, right? So this 5 is also protecting that 4 hour, as you can see. I don't mind go here, but I rather see a reaction on to the downside, of course, on this 5 liquidity level. Okay, so this 4, I should have marked that on a, sorry, this is a 5 resistance. Okay, and the price might not even go there. Honestly, it might not even go there. It might just reject the 4 hour body here. If it fails to go to the 1 hour and to the lower time frames, the price is probably just going to break this 4 and this 1 hour. Okay, because it's just rejecting really hard, and it doesn't even try to attack that 4 break. Okay, and if we were to mark the 4 hour break, it's this candle here, 4 hour break, and you are going to understand that if we go to the 1 hour, okay, imagine that this 4 was not created yet. This 1 hour first it was here, okay, and we already broke the 1 hour break level here with these candles here. Okay, so that 4 might not be that strong because inside this 4 we already tried to break down this previous 1 hour. Okay, so we are definitely moving down on the 1 hour. On the 4, let's see if we are actually going to be able to hold or to have a support here, or if this 4 is going to have a big resistance. Okay, it might go to this 4 honestly, because yeah, this 4 already tested this range if we go there, we can maybe break up. Okay. And the daily, we are 5 hours away to close the daily. Yeah, this daily, even though it can turn into a support on the lower time frames, especially on this 4 hour and the 1 hour, is looking really bearish. All right, guys, looking really, really bearish here. Let me just check the stream, honestly. All right, all right, all right, everything okay. Almost 1 hour of streaming. So I already talked about everything here on Bitcoin. Just for you guys to understand, I will try to enter in some trades here on the live streams. I will trade on Binance, okay, with just $5. Okay, I'm in a European country, so I cannot use dollars. I need to use USDC. Okay, but it's the same values here. Okay, guys, so I'm trading on 100 leverage, okay, with just $5, and I hope I get in some trades on the streams. So let's watch another chart. Let me just have a glass of water. All right, so I'm back. Let's watch gold. Let's watch gold. On the last stream, I watched SP and Nasdaq. So let's watch gold. All right. So I just have a few levels here. I can delete all of them. And let's understand what gold did here, right? Let me just go to the weekly. I normally don't like weekly levels on Bitcoin because there is not a lot of data, but gold, it's a little bit different, okay? So we kind of on the weeklies you can kind of use every bull candle on the bottom as big support, okay, and every white candle on the top as resistance, okay. It doesn't need to be followed by two blues or in the bottom by two whites, okay, but you can see, and you can see it here, the price goes almost perfectly to the body of this weekly, and it just adds a big reaction, okay. And we don't have a trail, so big support here, right? And I'm just going to mark that to find my daily, okay. And it doesn't even go to the daily here, okay. We have this daily, and you can see in this case we have this daily and this daily here, okay. The price actually just goes to the break level, and this might turn into a big liquidity level in the future, guys, okay. So I'm going to mark this daily. I will delete this weekly because it doesn't have well, it actually does. it actually does have a reaction here. Okay, this weekly here, you can see the daily goes there and boom, 23%. Okay, so it was not uh, actually this weekly was strong, but the level here this weekly was not close when we have this reaction, I believe. Yeah, it was on Friday, so it kind of was. It kind of was. So big support over there. I'm actually going to keep that. Okay, we have the support here. Sorry. And we have the break level here. Okay, and you can see the reaction on this break level. Oh, fuck. Sorry. Break level. Doesn't have big support here. Okay, but you can see that it went to the next support. This support can actually still be a good support. Okay, because we just deep dive that, and when we deep dive, we can actually make these candles that were not tested, like this one, into a support for the future. Okay, what I don't like about this is that the white candle, it's above the support. Okay, so this is because of the gaps here, but for now it's not really important, not really important. So on the top we have a big resistance, right? And we are actually testing that for the first time. Big resistance on a daily, and I'm actually going to just mark this in a moment. So big support here. Okay, we can go and find that floor. Let's just follow the trail. I'm going to start on the bottom because it's going to be a little more difficult because we are more levels on the bottom than on the top. Okay, so let's go to the floor. Okay, 4 hour here, followed by 2 white. No, but it still act as a resistance because there is probably 1 hour there. Okay, guys. So you could say that this 4 was above that. So when we don't have a 4 that is followed by 2 whites, but we already have a daily, okay, we need to find the 1 hour here. So what I'm going to do, mark this here. I can actually mark the body there. Okay, and this is why you need to understand this. The daily was created as big support, sorry. Okay, blue candle followed by 2 white candles. The price goes there. Okay, it has a little dive on the second one, the second day. Here we don't have a blue candle followed by 2 whites. Okay, and this is why you probably the price probably went to the 1 hour, and I need to check that. Okay, so I marked the body. I'm going to mark the wick, honestly, because it's going to be easier for you guys to understand. I already know which one the price hold here. It was this one. Okay, blue candle followed by 2 white candles. Okay, and we have a big support. And if we mark that 4 body, you could see that it is a little better than the 1 hour. Okay, and this is why you need to understand that on the bottom, a blue candle is going to act as support. Even though this is not the strongest support, we add that daily. So it went to the lowest. I'm going to the 15 just to check that, honestly. And it is probably the 15 here. But yeah, you guys need to understand that. So 15, okay, because the 1 hour here and we cannot go back in time. Okay, so we cannot go to this candle here. So this is a 15 followed by 2 white candles, even though they are here, right? And you can see that the price just goes there, and it actually went a little below that. Okay, so we also have this one, and we have the break level here. So this bull candle was inside this big bull candle. Okay, this bigger bull candle that is also a support. Okay, so it's a bull candle followed by 2 white candles, and actually the second candle here opens above the body. Okay, and even the wick goes above the previous wick, so this was also a good support. Okay, and the break level here on the 15 is here. Let me just see if the price goes there off or it fails to go there. Okay, it fails to go there, so that's even more bullish. I could use this one, but we also have this break level here on a 15. Okay, so I hope you guys understand that some of these markets are going to be a little harder to understand that Bitcoin, okay, because we have gaps and you need to understand those gaps. Okay, so do we need all these levels? Well, of course not. I'm just going to keep the 4 hour there. Okay, and it's just enough. Okay, so it was just to show you guys. So next one, so this support actually hold the price a lot of times, so we kind of, since we are already far away from that, we don't need to read every support level here. Okay, so the next one is here. I'm just going to tell you guys that we probably went to a 4 hour here, okay, inside this daily here. So for now we don't need that. We might need that in the future. I will just read this one and then we are going to the resistance. Okay, let me just check the stream. Okay, it looks everything okay. So let's go to the 4 inside that daily. And sometimes you are going to need to choose between some candles. Okay, so we have the daily there, and here we have 2 4 hour candles that can act as support. So it's this one here and this one here. This was already tested, okay, but the price just went to the wick. We can easily go to the body here. The body was not tested, even though when we test a wick or the body, normally that candle it is already tested. Okay, but we can definitely go there again. So we have 2 4 hour candles here. Okay, and we could easily say that we have a trail. Okay, 4 hour here. Okay, it's not a strong one. Okay, but it is below that daily, so it acts as support, as you can see, because that daily here. Okay, when we kind of fail to go to the greediest supports, it's even more bullish. All right, guys, so this is probably the support that told the price to break up, because the daily here was not tested. Okay, we go to the 4 hour. Okay, so 4 hour here, all the price. Okay, even though it's not the strongest level, probably the 1 hour, on a 1 hour we have a strong 1 hour level here, and you can see it is a really strong 1 hour. Okay, it was tested multiple times, 1 2 3, on the third it just keeps laddering up. Okay, in the future we might just break down really hard from this 1 hour candle. Okay, let me see. We don't have a liquidity level yet. Maybe not here. Maybe here on a 15. Okay. It's not really important for now. I will probably mark the 4 here because I already... No, I'm gonna keep the 1. I'm gonna keep the 1. Sorry. Okay, let's go to the top, and then I will probably go to the moment here just to try understand where the price might go. So daily here, let's go to the 4. Okay, we have the top there. It might not be as strong because it's a new all-time high. If we go there, it's going to be easier to go to a new all-time high. So we have the 4 here inside that daily, right? And let's go to the 1 hour. I could easily go to that one, but first let's just stay in this one. Okay, and the 1 hour here. I'm just marking the week here. Okay, so let's actually try to understand first before go to the moment, okay, and try to predict something if we are actually trying to break up or break down, okay. All right, so we already attacked this break level 1 time, okay. We already attacked the next break level. Okay, so here we created a big support. This is the break level, and you can see we already attacked that. And we actually deep dive the daily. Okay, not deep dive, but dive the daily. Okay, we did not hold the wick or the body. We just went to that 4 hour, right? Or to that 1 hour. And then the next break level is this one. So I will not mark that. Okay, what I'm going to mark is the next one. So it's this one here. And on the top, we had this break. Oh, I should have just copy paste. Sorry. Sorry, my boys. Daily break. Then where is our other daily break? Well, we could say that maybe it was here because we had this resistance followed by 2 bull candles, okay, but the price just breaks up, right? So we managed to hold that daily support and we just break up. So yeah, gold here might just attack that break, okay, but understand one thing: if we don't go to that break, we already broke this support, okay, because we broke the break level. Unless this turns into a liquidity, okay, we can also see another reaction on this break. I will just say that is not going to be a strong reaction, okay, because we already tested this daily a lot of times, and the week of this daily it is above the break here. So we already broke this break level and we already broke this break level. So this support and this support need to hold the price, otherwise the price will just break down, or maybe on this one or on this one create a liquidity level. And we need a second test to create a liquidity level, as I told you guys before. Okay, let me just okay, everything all right with the stream. Okay, so on the top, you already know that we did not went to that break level. Okay, we are kind of having a little reaction here on the daily. Let's just understand the 4 hour. Let me just actually go to the weekly. Okay, so the weekly looks bullish, honestly, guys. Okay, because we have the support on a weekly and the break level on a weekly here. We did not went to the break level, so we are just holding the support, right? And okay, maybe we went to the weekly break here. It's not really important. We are far away from that. Okay, we might turn this weekly as a big support, but yeah, we need to go above that level first. Okay, And we have the weekly break here if we actually break up first. Okay, so not for now. Let's go to the 4 and understand this. So as you can see, this 4, as I told you before, it was not a strong level, but since we probably have a big reaction on the break level here that can turn into liquidity, okay, we also have the break level here on a 4, okay, and you can see these levels are kind of really I don't want to say perfect because I kind of don't like perfection, okay. So if we follow the trail, we have the next. I'm actually going to mark. Now I'm gonna keep it on a daily. Okay, I will mark this as the 4-hour break level. Okay, because it's the support here. This support, it's all in the price, right? Break level here, a big reaction on that. It's not a liquidity level yet. Okay, so let's mark the next one. So the next week, sorry, not week, break level is here. Okay, this doesn't count as a test. Okay, guys. So the next one is here. It's the same as that 4. Okay, so I will probably, I'm gonna keep it just for you guys to understand that we are not attacking the break levels on a 4. Okay. After this one. Okay, so this was probably why we keep laddering up, because we did not attack the break levels. Okay, and we have the next one here, you guys already know. Okay, I could mark this as the 4-hour. Okay, so you can see 4-hour here, followed by 2 white candles. Okay, the price goes there and it has a big reaction. Okay, so because on the first, I just read this candle here because I wanted to show you guys why we did not went to the 4-hour here, and we created a new range here. Okay, so we have a 4 here, it was already tested. Okay, we can no maybe go to the week in the future, but for now we have this one here, break level here, and then on the top we might have a little correction to this range because we had this 4-hour here as support, right? And we already broke down. We had this 4-hour as the break level, and you can see, even though we don't have a confirmation yet, to have a confirmation of this break, we need to have a bull candle that opens and of course close below this dash line here on a 4. So we already attacked that. Okay, goes deep dives that. Okay, 4-hour resistance here. Okay, this 4-hour is not a strong one, so I'm going to mark this one because it is followed by 2 bull candles. Okay, resistance, and let's try to understand what is really or what might happen here. Okay, so sorry, 4-hour resistance. Okay, it is also the 1-hour here. Okay, and we could say that this 1-hour it's also acting as resistance, at least for now. Even though we have that big one, we can follow the trail. Okay, we can follow the trail. Yeah, because we are kind of failing to, at least for now, to make this 4 a big support. Let me go to the 1 actually. Okay, it is the same level as you can see. So big resistance on the moment on a 1-hour. Okay, and this might be a good support. Okay, and this is when you guys are going to understand that on this range the price can easily break down. Okay, I don't want to make calls here, but for what I see, we have created for our big resistance, and we already tried to break down the 4-hour big support. So what I'm going to tell you guys, if we, and we already, yeah, honestly, let me go to the 1 hour. So before we created that 4, okay, we had this 1 hour. It was tested multiple times here, and the price tries to break down and probably attack that 4. Okay, it failed. It rejected something here. Okay, it might be the break level on this 1 hour. Okay, this might be difficult for you guys to understand, but we have a 4-hour back here. Okay, so what this means, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 straight white candles, okay, that are followed by 2 bull candles. So even though the greediest candle is this one, I think I told you this before on this stream. We can mark the wick of the bottom wick of the first white candle, and that is going to act as resistance. Okay, so we have a big volley here, a big peak, sorry, and inside this peak we have a peak here created with this 4-hour candle, and another one, a peak here. Okay, this is the greediest side, and this is the front one. Okay, and this is the back side. So it's kind of hard to understand this on the first attempt, but it is probably why we got the rejection here. Just because on the 1 hour, okay, this 1 hour, it's kind of below that 4. So for me, it is not a strong 1 hour, okay, and it was already tested by this candle. So I could mark that, and it looks like it is still a good rejection here, right? But the price goes and attacks the break level there. Okay, and it might be this 1 hour that it might be this break level that the price attacked, but honestly I don't like that 1 hour over there. Okay, so I rather have that 4 as a big resistance than that 1 hour break that is maybe not going to have another reaction like that just because it is a 1 hour. Okay, just checking the stream. Okay, so we might be creating a 1 hour big support here. Okay, but you guys already know that we, at least for now, we need to go above this 4 hour here, this pull candle, to make this a good support. Okay, even though we already kind of broke the previous support, okay, and we might be creating a lower low here, we can definitely still go above this 4 and make that a support. Okay, just because this 1 hour was already tested multiple times. Okay, and if we actually go there again, we might see a break. Okay, we can easily go to that daily again and still have a reaction. Okay, even though on a daily we already went above that. In the moment, this line here, or this red line and the yellow line, can still act as resistance. Okay, especially this 4 here, that is probably the strongest resistance on a moment. Sorry. All right, so let me mark the 1 hour break level here. 1 hour break level. And let me go to the 15. So this 15 was already tested. Okay. We have the 1 hour here. This 15 was already tested. This 15 was already tested. And we only have this 15. Okay. So this 4 hour from back there, it can still act as support. Yeah, I kind of don't like it, honestly. I can delete this one. Okay. And this is the break level. We probably don't need that over there. I was just checking that break level. Actually, guys, this level here might be a 1 hour liquidity level. Yeah, for sure. We have one. Yeah, but I don't like this white candle here. Even though we don't have a confirmation, okay? If we go to the 4, it might be a 1. Hmm. Okay. So not on a 15. I'm going to mark this as a 1 hour break liquidity level. Nah, I don't like that. I don't like that because we have the 4 break here. Let me just mark this daily as a possible rejection. Okay, this can actually hold the price. Delete this one. So this can actually hold the price, guys. It's probably a 15 here. Yeah. I'm going to mark the body. We did not went to the break level there. We did not went to this 15 yet. Dun, dun, dun. So we add a liquidity level here on a 15, guys, that is acting as resistance. Okay, look at this. This level here, we had a support on a 15, right? Support on a 15, and this is the liquidity level on that 15. Let me mark that. And it is probably now acting as a big resistance. Okay, it is just on a 15, but we are also testing this 1 hour. Okay, we are testing the week. If we fail to go to the body, we can actually have a big move down. Okay, so for now we are probably on a 15 against a 15. Because on a 4 we have nothing here. Okay, we have a resistance here, and we have the daily rejection here. Okay, so to be really bearish, if we open a white candle below the body of this white, okay, if we go here this daily might not be enough. Okay, because this 4 was already tested. Okay, right? So this 4 was already tested, and this 4 over here was already tested. So this 4, as I told you guys, might not be that strong. Might not be that strong. Let me delete the lines here. Let me make this. It's at 15-minute liquidity level. Just for you guys to understand that we might see a big reaction on this level. We have this one. We have a really good trail here, and I'm actually going to mark a trend here because I know that you guys love it. Look at this perfect trend. So all these candles here, I think all of them test a trend. So all of them just count as one test. Let me check. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles. Okay, they just count as one test. Oh, and that's a problem because we just have the creation, the continuation, and if we have a confirmation on the third, okay, we might see a big move down and break that 1 hour level. Let me go to the 15 here. Let me delete this level, sorry. This draws. Okay, actually on a 15, we probably have a better trend. Just because the 1 hour is kind of not created yet, okay? Okay, it's this one here, okay? Yeah, this is a more... Whoa, perfect trend, my friends! So we have the creation, the continuation, and the confirmation, okay? And here the price fails to test the trend. That is even more bearish for me, okay? Because when we fail to test the trend, when it is already created, because we already have, as I said before, the creation, okay, the continuation here and the confirmation here, when the price fails to test the trend, that for me it is even more bearish, okay? In this case, because we are in a downtrend, the price fails to attack the trend and it keeps moving down, okay? It might not happen here. We can easily go to the trend again because we also still have a strong 1 hour there, and the price can easily go to the body again, okay? So for me, I would say that at on this range, okay, and we have a lot of levels here on the 1 hour that can hold the price, okay, like this one here can still hold the price, and maybe create a 4 hour, and hopefully for gold to keep bullish we don't go down to this range, right? So for now on this range I'm a little bearish, and honestly on a 15, if we fail to go, oh, let me delete this, sorry. On this 15, if we fail to go above this bull candle, okay, we are kind of failing to create a 15-minute support here, and maybe we can create a big resistance. Okay, on a 1 hour though, uh mm, yeah, we can definitely go to the 4 hour body here. Okay, just because we already tested the wick on this white candle. Okay, we kind of did not test the 4 hour body there. We kind of did the 1 hour, right? It's the 1 hour here. Okay, so at least for now, if I was going to take action, well, I will not take action. Okay, just because it looks like it might break up on the lower time frames. Okay, the 15-year might not be enough. This liquidity here was kind of already it already had the action, right? 1.3% down. I probably don't want to say this, but we might see a big move up just because this liquidity was already taken and it's just on a 15-minute level. Okay, so we already had a big reaction after that liquidity level. Okay, so right now we might see a big move up. The 15-year, if it attacks the trend, okay, if it attacks the trend again, we might just break up. Okay, back test the trend maybe, and you can try to buy the back test with some support that we might create here on a 15-minute. Okay, so like this one, if this bull candle turns into a big support on a 15 and we go above the trend, okay, so to break a trend, in this case, to break up, we need to open and close a white candle above the trend. Okay, not even the corner of the white candle can let me just show you guys. Okay, so imagine, oh come on, sorry, okay, imagine this is a white candle. Okay, so if you zoom in, well, that little corner, if it's testing the trend of, okay, it's not a confirmation of the break. To have a confirmation of the break, you need to have a little gap like this one, or even smaller. Okay, so this is for me, when you break a trend, you need to have a white candle like that. So let's go back to, just let me check the, okay, check the stream. Let's go back to Bitcoin. What is Bitcoin doing? Okay, so we are kind of going above the body of the 4. Inside that 4, we still have the 1 hour, right? We have that trend. Did we backtest the other trend? No, I think not. I think I did not check that on lower time frames. Yeah, we did not. No, okay. So we did not backtest that trend. Okay. Okay, I will probably not take any trade today unless I see a big reaction on these levels. Okay, so as I said before, I think that trend, okay, so this trend on a 1 hour, it's kind of not created, as I told you guys, but on a 15, we already have the trend, right? So on a 15, we have the creation there. We don't need to move it, okay? Creation, continuation and confirmation here. And I could even create a 15-minute trend, but you are going to see that that trend is going to show you nothing. Okay, maybe on this point here, but well, we just have the creation, continuation, and we break on the third test. So no, even though it looks like a back test on that trend, this, my friends, is not a good trend. Okay, and yeah, that 1 hour is not created yet, so we can definitely go to this top here. So let me just mark the levels, and I will probably end the stream. So for our big resistance, okay, and this is also a big resistance, but we kind of managed to create a good support here. So let's go to the 1 hour. Okay, big one on a 4. And we have, actually, we have 2 candles. We have this one here and this one here. So this is the greediest one, and it looks like the body was already tested. So I'm going to mark the wick and try to understand if we have the 15-minute there. Let me check one thing, sorry. Okay, so probably this one is not a strong one, even though it is followed by two bull candles, sorry. Okay, these 2 candles don't break this white candle. Okay, just this candle here. So we created an inside range. Yeah, on the 15, this candle here looks tested. Okay, and it's probably the strongest one. It was tested multiple times. I will probably go to the greediest one. It's this one here, and we probably have a break here, as you can see. So this one was tested 2 times here. I'm going to mark this 15, but I also like this one. So I would say that even though this candle here looks good, the price already attacked the break level, right? So we did not attack this break level here. So I'll say that I will rather have mark the body here, and we have the 1 hour and the 15 there. So, and the price can easily go up there, of course. Let me go to the 5, try to understand if we have a strong candle here on a 5. And we actually do. It is this one here. Maybe this one will act also. I think that is not a test. Okay, so we have a candle here. This might be the strongest one. Okay, so if I was going to trade on this range, I will just mark this candle here. Okay, probably the wick and the body, and I would mark this candle here because it is the top candle. Okay, so yeah, I really like this one, especially on the body, because we have the break here, right? And we might create a 15-minute liquidity level if we go a little above that. So I would say that this 5, it's probably the greediest. And we still have a 3-minute, but I don't want to go there, honestly, for now. It's going to be simple for you guys to understand just for now. These levels, okay? So you can see that I have a lot of lines here. I could start marking a lot of lines on the bottom too. But since we are trying to break up, I want to understand which levels can hold the price down, just because I'm really bearish on Bitcoin. All right, guys. So if we break this one here, I will wait to see if we are actually going to see a big reaction there, just because breaking the 4-hour break level here, okay, breaking this resistance candle might turn into a really bullish momentum, because we might be able to create the daily here, okay? So if we create a daily there, this 4-hour might not be enough to hold the price down. We might need to another higher level here, probably a level that is bringing the price down, like this daily big resistance, okay, or even higher, and we still have this big resistance on a daily. So this is probably the big resistance, the next big resistance, the wick or the body. I should have marked that. Okay, so actually guys, that daily might be the strongest level. If we fail to attack this 4-hour break and we have a big reaction on this candle, we might see a big move down. Okay, we might see a big move down. All right, guys. So I could also delete this previous support turning into resistance, because that daily is already created. Okay, and these are my levels, guys. Okay, we are attacking the 1 hour there. Let me just see. Okay, not testing that yet. All right, I hope you guys like my levels. If you did, give a like, and see you guys on the next stream. Thank you so much. See you.